All right, guys, we're finally here. I'm going to see if anybody shows up today. I had 5 viewers earlier, and I was having some slight technical difficulties, which was basically that I unplugged my webcam earlier, like last part of the week, and I needed to use the USB port for something else. So that's what happened. So I'm glad 5 people showed up, and then all of a sudden, psych, I wasn't even here. It was just blank and nothing. So, all right, so let's go ahead and start this, and then hopefully people will show up, and we can do some chats and all that good stuff. So I was doing a video earlier today about some new parts that just showed up, and we do like to come up with new parts, basically not new parts so much as remaking old ones. So I want your suggestions. If you want to go into the comments and give us some suggestions about parts that need to be made that maybe have been discontinued for a while, we can have them made. I have a guy that I use. He has a shop in Asia, and he can make stuff. And so what I've been doing is just feeding him things that, I know Vanagon owners call me about all the time, and I hate to tell people I can't get that anymore. I would rather tell them, yes, I can get it, even if I have to sell them something used, because I want to help keep their van going down the road. So one of the things he has in development right now is the instrument cluster foil on the back of the instrument cluster. Okay, that's in the pipeline. That might be happening at some point. He's making some shifter components for the early Vanagons. We've been working with him on that for a little while. He just sent me a box of stuff today, and I showed that in a video earlier, so I don't know if I really want to show that again or not, but there are, let me show you a little bit of this stuff. He's actually making some reproduction, which seem like really nice quality. These are for the vent wing, right? Okay, these are vent wing seals for a Vanagon. They usually look kind of like this, like a triangle. So he's been making some of those. These are actually prototypes he just had made, sent them over. I'm going to try to test them out, see how they go. They feel like they're made out of really nice rubber. I don't know exactly what it's, rubber it's made out of, but pretty nice. He just made up, I'm not quite sure why, because I've seen these from other suppliers, but he's made up this shifter deal. This is like the front shifter base on your van, and he just made a prototype of this and sent this to me to test out. I mean, it looks like a finished product to me, but we'll see. I'll try it out. It feels a little crunchy when I move it around, but it could just be they didn't put enough grease in it when they put it together. So like that kind of stuff. And I've shown you guys earlier the 1.9 thermostat housings. They actually, are in the wild now. So I have to try to test some on a van. Maybe if somebody wants to be a test subject. I mean, if I send you something to test, basically what happens is I charge you for it. Okay. Then if you make me some pictures and some video and talk, and show me the plus sides and the negative sides, because this is what it's all about. When we get prototypes, we have to give them feedback. Okay, so we give them the feedback, then they can make the final product be basically perfect. But if we don't have the feedback, then I got nothing. So if I send you the product, it's not really about the money. I need the feedback. The reason why I charge the money is to motivate people, because if I didn't charge any money, they would never do anything. I know some of you guys say, yes, I will do things, but I mean, I'm just telling you, I don't charge, didn't charge core charge on wiring harnesses for people for a long time. No one ever sent me them back, like ever. And everyone I talk to about, I'm like, listen, I'm not charging you the core charge, but I need it back. And they're like, yes, you will get it back, I promise. And then I never get it back. So if I don't know if you guys are chatting with me, I'm not really. I see a chat over on the side, but I don't know if that's the super chat or not. So if you're chatting and I'm not responding, just leave your messages in the chat, and maybe I can see that after. I'm still working on this live thing. It's kind of getting on my nerves a little bit. I bought a program last week to do it for $10, which is not a lot of money. And yeah, that program is so complicated, I gave up. I'm using Hangouts today. It's working like 10 times better than, actually the bungee cording the phone to the screen worked better than this program I paid money for last week. And Hangouts, which is free, is working better than either one of those things. So there you go. But so, you know, if you have a product thing that you want to have remade, I think the instrument cluster itself is also being in the pipeline. Okay, so that's another part that people need. I mean, you need that for your van. You can't have a van without an instrument cluster. And you know, that's a thing. So that's another thing that's being made right now. Okay, so all these things are being made. They're in the pipeline. I'm just trying to see if I can get into the chat here to see if you guys are chatting with me. Let's see. If I click on live streaming, is that going to do anything? I'm just, oh look, I see the chat over here on the right. Somebody chat to me. It says live stream offline. What? I don't know what that's doing. All right, let me get back over here. I don't know. This is too much like rocket science. All right, so anyway, like I said, if I can't see you in the chat, I highly apologize. I'm trying to get this all sorted out. All right, so what else? Oh, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about these PowerFlex deals. So this is a product that we've been selling for a little while. PowerFlex small. These are made in the UK. Wow, that's actually reversed. Okay, these are made in the UK, and it's a very high quality product. These are the bushings for your drop links. Okay, now one of the things when you get the PowerFlex, they have this stuff that comes with it, which is apparently, it says PowerFlex. It doesn't say Zirkel. Okay, it says PowerFlex. So anyway, because it's backwards. These are what the drop link bushings look like, which is kind of cool. It's 2 bushings like normal, and then in the middle you got a stainless steel little sleevey poo thing. I mean, that's cool, and they're not really that expensive if you factor in the sleeve too, because those are actually, I think, $12 each or something. I think these are $50-something for, it does both sides. But the thing that's most impressive about the PowerFlex, to me, is this little box that comes in. I mean, look at this. This is like McDonald's kids meal box, except to the, like, the 11th degree. It's this whole box, just, it's one flat piece of plastic that somebody like laser cut or something, and it turns it into a box. Isn't that great? But anyway, and you can have a box just like this, and just throw the bushings away. Who needs them? But you get this beautiful box. All right, so that's those, the drop link bushings. We have them on our site. We've also got, and I did a video about the front lower control arm bushings. Okay, that's these, and now they're in pieces. Okay, so when you go to put it together, it's actually really easy. You like kind of put this side in and this side in, bam, and then you put this little stainless steel deal in the middle, bam, and it turns it, voila, magic trick. It turns into this bushing, which is great. And why I say it's great is because putting in the bushing is the biggest pain of the whole thing. Okay, so yes, they're more expensive. I think the regular ones are like $9, and this is $50-something. Oh, my wife is bringing me the chat. Okay, great. I could not figure out how to get it to it. She brought me her phone with the chats. All right, thanks guys for being in the chats. All right, and so I do see some of your information on the chats. I will address some of those. Let me finish talking about these bushings first. So, you know, when you're dealing with front control arm bushings, this is the way to go. Very, very, here, let me give you this, and then you can tell me what they're asking questions about. This is very, very easy to do, and I showed that in my video. Highly recommend it. And they're expensive, but You know, doing the regular bushings sometimes takes me hours. And that's me. I have equipment. I have done it many times before. You go to put it in, it doesn't want to go in. You have to have this clamp thing. You're squeezing it, then you're pushing it in with a big C-clamp thing and pushing it in there. And the center goes squish and breaks. And your brand new bushing is ruined. That's why they're $9, because you probably wreck like a third of them putting them in. This, you just push it with your hands. Done. Over. Okay. That's why I love that. Then let's look at this one. Here's another one. I got like a bunch of these different things. This is for the back. Now the back ones, I don't know why they made them different. It's actually like the actual bushing itself, and you got to swoosh it in there, but it has no center thing in it. Okay, so it'll swoosh and go push it in there, and then once it's in there, you put your, you know, they have the stainless steel things in here. I'm not going to take it out because it's like down in there. So that's for the rear, and this is like a whole set of them. So again, the part that's, to me, the best part about it is the install, ease of install. But the other good part about it is that they have a lifetime warranty. See, look, it says it right here. Wervlings Lernzer. Okay. Trust me, it says lifetime warranty. Okay. So that's what's going on there. All right. So I see someone on the chats.
Yes. Rory Donnelly says, what's the best leisure battery to put in my van?
What is the best leisure battery? All right. So I actually addressed this in my video about the secondary battery system for the Vanagon. I like to use these deep cycle wheelchair batteries. You can buy them on Amazon, and they cost, I think, around $40 each. But each one is 22 amp hours, and they're deep cycle. They're totally sealed, and then you just chain them together. You know, with batteries, if you put them in parallel with each other, then they're all 12 volts, but you're getting the full amperage. So say you want just 2 batteries, you're paying $80 for that. You hook them together, you got 44 amp hours. You can fit 3 batteries in that battery compartment under the driver's seat, and that would be 66. And for 120 bucks, I mean, that's a great deal. If you go to the store, there's deep cycle batteries there, $120, and it's only 77 amp, or it's only like 40 amp hours or something. So, and they're really big. The ones in the store, they're like big, like for a boat or something. These ones are really little, and you can put them together. So that's my advice on that. And like I said, if you see my video on the secondary battery install, it'll kind of address that. Do we have any other questions?
Brian Armstrong says, I'm planning to replace all of my bushings with poly very soon.
Okay.
My hose has been shot.
Yep, and so that's the PowerFlex bushings we were just showing you. Supplier in the UK too that is not as well known. I thought about maybe getting some of their bushings. I think they're supposed to be less expensive, but I've never had a whole lot of experience with them, so that might be something for the future. Okay, so I am seeing your chats. If you guys have any questions, definitely chat it up. Also in the super chat, you can give us a donation. That would be great. We would super appreciate that. I mean, my wife's sitting here. She's spending some of her time reading the chats, and you know, we might go out to dinner later or something like that. Now, something I wanted to talk to you guys about too. I finally got enough airplane miles to go to Hawaii. Okay, so this is a dream I've had since I was probably about 8 years old. I told my wife I actually was dreaming about going to Hawaii for my honeymoon, and we never did. We went to the Smokies instead, you know. Yeah, whatever. It was great. And I love the Smokies. They're the best. But, oh, and now my daughter's in the chat. And we did that, and it was great, and we loved it. But I always wanted to go to Hawaii. So we were looking on Kauai, because when I go somewhere, I don't like to go to the main stuff that everybody goes to. I don't like being with big groups of people and all that crazy stuff. So we're thinking about going to Kauai, and I thought, you know what? You're going to stay in Kauai. You want to stay on the beach, and you want to relax, and it's nice there. Temperature's nice. Everything's nice. Maybe there's a Vanagon on Kauai that you could like rent as a place, and you could you know, do stuff. So I looked it up. Guess what? There is Kauai camper rentals on Kauai. I was touching base with the people there, and they're like, yeah, definitely come out here. We'll rent you a Vanagon. It comes with, like, fully equipped with a stove and not stove. Well, I mean, it's like a Westie. So you have all the Westie stuff, but it has, like, extra stuff. They give you, like, chairs and beach towels and bedding and air mattresses and a grill and all kinds of stuff. And so we're thinking about doing that. So if we do that, what I'm trying to say is we're going to video it, at least part of the trip, and we will put that on the channel. Okay. But if you want to donate to the Hawaii trip, you can do that. Okay. I don't know if you want to or not, but if you want to, yeah, that would be sweet. All right. We got another question.
All right. Chris says, hi Ken, been dealing with some flooding when starting. Just replaced temp. To anywhere else I should check?
Yes, so you just replace your temp 2 and you're still having some flooding issues. I would check your injectors because maybe they are not spraying properly. You could try pulling them, like on the injector thing. You'll see there's like a little nut in the middle, a little bolt. You can release it, pull it out, put like a little plastic bowl or something under there where the 2 injectors are on the one side. And you can actually take your lead off of the center of the distributor cap, ground it to the motor, and then you crank it over. You have somebody crank it over while you're watching and see what the spray pattern looks like. It's supposed to look like a cone shape. Sometimes it'll pee instead of be a cone, and sometimes it'll drip. Okay, so you don't want either one of those things. You want a nice cone shape, and then you can have your fuel injection will work the way it should. So I would do that. If you want to put some injector cleaner in it, maybe that would be enough to fix it. If not, you can get some new injectors from us. There's another place called Witch Hunter Performance up in, I think they're in Washington State, and they will clean injectors for like $35 an injector. That might be another way to go. So I think our new injectors are like $75 each. And it's a wear item. You know, it's a part that gets clogged up over time and wears, and that could be what's going on. Okay, so hopefully that helps you out.
Brian Armstrong says he's watched a lot of your videos about how to install bushings, and he really appreciates you doing that. Nicholas Nice says driving the Island Hopper for Magnum PI. That would be awesome.
That's right. I mean, if I had a Vanagon rental company in Hawaii, it would have to have TC's van, definitely. So, and I've actually even thought about taking a Vanagon, an air-cooled Vanagon, and turning it, or an 84, and turn it into TC's van. Because you guys that watch Magnum PI, right, like me, you probably know early Magnum PI, air-cooled Vanagon. After 84, 1.9 water-cooled Vanagon. If you don't know that, you need to watch some more episodes because you can definitely see the difference. And sometimes it's cool to watch them driving around, and you'll see the same exact, like you'll see TC's Vanagon like parked different places because they're like filming and they just drive by it randomly. And you know, you wouldn't probably notice it unless you're like crazy Vanagon fanatic person. All right, anybody have any more questions?
Camp Runamok says, got a friend that rents Vanagons in Hawaii.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I actually had another customer of mine that rents them. I think he's in Maui area. So there's like multiple Vanagon rental companies in Hawaii. Kauai, you know, just appeals to me because it's a lower traffic place. Like, you know, you have to go to, I think, the mainland and then fly to Kauai. So it's like another step. A lot of people will just stay on the mainland on the central island. But I'd like to go to Kauai and just check it out. I think it would be awesome. And we're hoping to do that maybe October, something like that. So it'll be after everything's all said and done. All right, you got any more questions? I'm trying to think of stuff. If not, I will show you a piece of history. It'll be scary. Are you ready? All right. And you can't read it because it's all backwards, but I will show it to you. Are you ready? Don't get too scared. Look at this sadness. It says Van Ignites in Millville. And the dude that's standing there next to the Van Ignites is actually me. Now, people are going to be like, Ken, I can't believe you didn't change your fuel lines and your van burn up. But that's not what happened. This happened probably 10 years ago. It was very depressing. My favorite van, 91 Karat. We love that car. It had my wife and all the kids in it, plus a friend. They were going to town, just normal stuffs. My wife calls me. She's like, there's smoke coming out of the dash. I'm like, really? Yeah. She's like, yes. I'm like, well, go ahead and pull over. And, you know, go. I didn't have a fire extinguisher in the van because it wasn't a full camper. It was just a regular passenger van. And so she went to KFC and they gave her, it was right there, they gave her like a chicken bucket full of water. Or somebody did anyway. And she was going to try to go and put it out. By the time she got back to do that, and everybody was out, everybody was safe, there was like 40-foot tall flames coming off of this thing. I mean, it went up within 5 minutes. It was gone. And the messed up part was we had been refurbishing it. It had like a new motor, had a new transmission, it had new rims on it, it had all kinds of brand new tires I had just put on it, all this stuff. And actually the motor and transmission I saved. But everything else, like, because that part never caught on fire. That's what's so hysterical. You know, everybody, normally the motor's what burns up. And on this was the opposite. The whole interior, the whole front, top, everything, all burn up. But the actual motor, wiring harness, everything like that was still fine because that's not where the fire started. So it started under the dash. I have no clue what it was, like some kind of a short circuit in wiring. I've never heard of anybody else having that kind of a fire before. So that was that was probably 10 years ago, yeah, sadly. And I had bought that van in 1998. It was a 91, so it wasn't even that old. And we just loved it. We drove it all the time with our kids.
So Nicholas Nice says, I'm having to turn over the engine, turn the key off, then turn over again before it fires up. 2.1 Buster box.
Okay.
Fuel filter question mark.
I mean, you can try the fuel filter. If it does it do it when it's cold, or does it only do it when it's hot? Sometimes they have a problem when they fully warm up, and that would be a temperature sensor problem. If it's doing it all the time, it might be a problem with fuel injectors again. You know, because fuel injectors, sometimes stuff won't start because it's not getting enough fuel. Sometimes it doesn't start because it's getting too much fuel. And I guess kind of how you can tell is when you actually get it started, does it like let out a cloud of smoke or something? That could be an indication.
Becoming more frequent.
Random issue, okay. So yeah, if it's doing it randomly, it's probably not a fuel filter. I mean, you can change that and see what happens, but that would be more consistent.
No smoke, he said.
No smoke, okay. So probably what it is, I would think, in my experience, it's going to be a problem with the computer or the hall sending unit in the distributor, okay? The computers have problems. They control your ignition. The hall sending unit in the distributor also controls ignition. That's one of the two things. When you have a coil as well, but they're pretty solid. They barely ever go bad. So if the hall sending unit starts getting flaky in the distributor, that will definitely cause it. Usually that does it worse when it's hot. The computer, that can just be flaky whenever, and it'll flake out on you. There's no really predictability. I've had ones where it does it when it first starts. I've had them do it when it gets hot. Sometimes you can beat on it with your hand, like it's under the back seat. You can just go bam, hit it. The car will stall. Well, then it's bad. And we have rebuilt ones on our site, $250 plus $100 core charge. It's a nice unit.
Says okay, gotcha.
Yep. Yeah. So hopefully, you know, computers are one of them things. Really, they're a wear item. If you've never replaced your computer with a rebuilt computer and you're taking like long trips, I would either have a good used one sitting in the back or get a rebuilt one and put it in there, because they like crap out on you at the worst possible times. It happens a lot. And then I'm talking about for the 2.1s. The 1.9, the computer is pretty rock solid. The 2.1s, they had some issues when they made them. That's what causes the problems. All right, we got 8 people still watching. Do we have any other questions? I'm about ready to call it a day because it's Friday.
Oh, Camp Runamuk says his friend is in Maui.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's probably the guy that I was dealing with in Maui. He has a rental place there. I'm trying to remember his name, but it's escaping me at the moment. He bought some 1.9 distributors off of me that were rebuilt, a couple of them, and yep, a little while back. All right, I'm trying to think of anything else. But I definitely appreciate you guys coming out. We're going to keep trying to do the 5 o'clock thing on Friday if I can. It's hard for me sometimes because I'm just wiped out from the week. I'm tired and I'm ready to call it a day, but I thought I would try again. And it's working way better today, right? You guys see me better. I'm not all pixelating out like on my first one. Last week, we tried to do the live stream, and it wasn't public. It was ridiculous. It wasn't public. I bought this program called Wirecast that was so complicated to work it. And my brother's been doing some live streams. I asked him, like, what are you doing? Because his was working fine. He's like, I just use Hangouts. So that's what I was trying to do today. Then the first time I tried to use Hangouts, earlier my webcam was unplugged from the computer because I was using the USB port for something else like this week. And plus I was like, why do I want the FBI looking at me through my webcam if they ever wanted to? So I forgot I unplugged it. So that's why it didn't work at first. All right, anything else?
Camp Runamuk says, thanks, Ken. No, my friend is a lady. And then
Oh, a lady.
Nicholas says, audio chopped a couple of times, video has been solid.
Okay, I'm thinking about buying a nicer microphone, so that might help with the audio problems. I mean, my kids are in the house playing Overwatch or something probably too, so I don't know if that's affecting our bandwidth and stuff. But I mean, you know, like I said, this Hangouts is working pretty great for being a free program. So, you know, you get what you pay for that way. That other program was $10, and I guess it would work eventually if I kept messing with it. Their next level above that was like $200 for like a professional level thing. And, you know, I mean, I like doing this, but I don't want to invest a whole ton of money in it if it's not going to be something. So, okay. All right. Oh, let me show you one other cool thing I just got today. You guys are probably don't even know what this is. I'm like geeking out over it. Okay, so what this is, Synchro Vanagons. They had these little tiny like mud flap deals. I mean, they're not really a mud flap. It's more like just a mud guard or something. It would attach to your rear wheel well of the van. Actually, it would be the rear edge of every wheel well. So all 4 wheel wells, you got 4 of these deals. These little tiny deals here. And, you know, it's just part of having a Synchro where they would all have these, all the 14-inch ones anyway. The 16-inch ones have these crazy, you know, wheel arch extension things. So I haven't been able to get these for probably 5 or 6 years. And I found a place, one of the guys on the Vanagon list mentioned it in Europe that was making these. The only downside is they're made out of fiberglass. So you can see in the middle, they used to be solid in here, and they would have some like metal studs sticking out. And then you just, like, there's actually holes on the van already. You just kind of slide them on and put little nuts on the inside, and that was it. I mean, these are empty in the inside, but, you know, you could probably like put some epoxy or something on this and then just maybe glue it or something like that. I'm going to try it and see what I find out on that. But I may start selling these just because that's, you know, people, Synchro people, they got money. They're ready to spend some money. And they're looking for this stuff if they're restoring a Synchro. Let's see here.
Nicholas says easy enough to mod. Nicholas is easy enough to mod.
Yeah, yep.
Good. Can't run them up. I told her to buy some parts. I'm sure we'll ship to her.
Yeah, and then this is this 1.9 thermostat housing that I just got today that I was freaking out about earlier. And, you know, this is, again, like an unobtainium part. And we've been selling the used ones. And people are buying them. But it's so nice to have something that's, like, brand new. And it kind of resets the clock, you know, on some of this stuff. So like I said, if you have stuff you want to have reproduced, put it in the comments. We will, and then if you can provide a sample for us too, that would be super awesome, because that's basically, you know, how we deal with this guy. We give him samples, and then he produces them, and then he usually sends us the prototypes to test out. All right, anything else, my beautiful assistant? Before we...
Nicholas says, pretty cool you're having old parts produced again.
Yeah, that's why I like I said, I like it because it just keeps these vans on the road. And, you know, people 10 years ago, they're like, would call me, what do you think? We're going to give you out to keep getting parts? I'm like, yeah, everything. People are making stuff. And that's what's so great about the community. So, but it's all getting remade because people, you know, wanted to, and they put some time and effort into making samples and tests and stuff and all that kind of stuff. So if you have ideas, just put them in the comments below. We'll be glad to deal with that for you guys. All right, guys. Well, still got 9 viewers. I hate to go if there's people watching, but I think I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to take my wife out to a nice dinner. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll see you guys next week on our Fan Again live stream at 5 again on next Friday. Thanks. See you guys later. Peace out. Hope you get more smiles per gallon with your van.